Hi, I'm Duke. Welcome to my channel. I've been dealing with diabetes now for 20 years. And for those 20 years, I've been an insulin-dependent diabetic. But I've never been diagnosed officially with type 1 or type 2. I'll tell you about how I got there 20 years ago when I went to the doctor to get my blood checked because I was not feeling well. As you can imagine, everything that goes into, DKA, diabetic ketoacidosis. So when I went to the doctor, I found out that I had a blood sugar in the 600s. No one in my family has diabetes, and I don't know anyone personally with diabetes, so I was happy that it was something, but I didn't know what that meant because I was wondering what in the world is happening to my health that at the age of 29, I was 29 20 years ago, like what's happening? I eat well, I work out, no fast food, hardly any dessert. I'm not sure, so I was never diagnosed. What happened was after I got my 600 blood sugar, they told me I was diabetic, and they gave me 10 units of insulin to correct my blood sugar. I picked up some prescription at the hospital to get metformin and a glucometer. It was not working at all. Like, my blood sugars were constantly in the 200s, 300s day after day for weeks, for a couple of weeks, right? And then so I went into the doctor again. I was like, hey man, I need some insulin because this ain't working. And they just put me right on. Okay, no test, no like, hey, are you sure? They just gave me some insulin and told me to measure how much to take for each meal. Gave me a little chart to go off of, and within the first month of using insulin, in 1 month, I gained 30 pounds. Like, what is this stuff? Yeah, I was kind of happy because, I wasn't looking so sickly anymore, but what? 30 pounds in 1 month? I constantly went low because I overshot it all the time. I was waking up in the middle of the night and just shaking and sweating. I need to eat something, man. So let me tell you about my 16 weeks doing strict carnivore. For the 2 years prior to that, I was pretty much ketovore, what people call ketovore. It was carnivore with a little bit of carbs in the form of like avocado, kefir. I went through the first couple of weeks of carnivore in August, feeling pretty good. I started to lose weight, and I wasn't doing it to lose weight, obviously. I'm doing it for my blood sugar. But when you inject insulin, that's a fat promoting hormone. So you're gonna gain weight, man. And I had gotten up to, as a guy who's 5'8", I had gotten up to 170, around 178. And I started to drop day after day, and I noticed that. I was like, all right, cool, because there were shirts that I had hanging in the closet that I could not wear anymore. At the end of September, leading into early October, I'm starting to gain weight again. I had gotten down to 161 and was oscillating between 161 and 164, and just for weeks and weeks. Why isn't it dropping? Like, because I'm not eating more day after day. I'm eating the same amount that got me down there, and then I hit that wall for some reason. Couldn't get past it. But I was wondering, why though? what has changed here? Because my blood sugars are high again. So as I'm scrolling through YouTube, I came across a carnivore channel called Carnivore Today, and there's this dude called Adam. Just clicked on a random video. I heard he mentioned vitiligo and histamine intolerance, and I was like, what? Oh, I've never heard of that. And I've looked into vitiligo. What causes it? How do you heal from it? You can't find anything, man. It's crazy. Because I've been dealing with the vitiligo now for about 15 years. You know, in conjunction with the diabetes, sort of. It started a little bit later. It started with a white spot under my chin right here. It's gone now. I've had several spots fill in. So on October 7th is when I went raw primal. I was like, let me just try this. I've done some raw food. Like I said, I do raw eggs and raw liver. It's no big deal. But I never tried to do 100% raw primal like that. And I decided, let me just try this. I found this lady on YouTube, Stephanie Keto Person. Her name is Stephanie Person. And she was talking about adding more fat. She was talking about leaky gut. She was talking about high protein meals. Because I was noticing that if I would eat a high protein meal, especially when I was raw, yeah, my blood sugar would spike like crazy, man. I would have to take about like 10 units of insulin for a steak. How was it? What? No one talks about that. And so, I hear on YouTube the importance of iodine. You might have heard about this too. Iodine, how that's essential for every cell in the human body. Okay, iodine, what? Maybe that's gonna help me, because this ain't working, man. Got it on the 15th of this month, only a couple of weeks ago, right? The day that I got it, it was the 15th on a Friday. Today is Friday the 29th. So my blood sugars I woke up with high blood sugar that morning, took some insulin. My blood sugars kept rising. I checked my sugar at like 7, check it at 9, check it at 10, check it at 12, I keep having to inject more and more insulin. Eating raw eggs and meat, how is that spiking my blood sugar? Somebody tell me. Because that is some shit that people do not talk about. And I've been increasing the dosage day after day. Because I'm back to high blood sugars. So I'm up to 30 milligrams today, and I'll probably do more, a little bit more tonight. Also on the same day that I had my first drop of iodine on the 15th is when I stopped eating raw primal. I was gonna have some hamburger patty, and I looked at it. There was a little bit. It wasn't expired or anything, but a little bit dark around the edges. And I was like, "What? I'm not gonna eat this. Let me just cook this." I was doing that, and I was eating the pork belly raw too. I cooked that pork belly. Oh my god, man, that thing was a revelation. It was delicious, man. I was like, "What have I been doing?" My blood sugars are high. Forget this raw primal, man. I also cut out the salts. I added back in some salts here and there. Because what do you do, right? You just have to test it out. It's just a trial. I wish I had better results, So what's causing this? I'm not sure, but I've started this channel so that I can at least document my journey here. I'll be posting videos and telling my story of how I got diagnosed, or what happened 20 years ago, what I was eating during that time, the different diets I've gone on. I mean, it's been quite a ride. And I'll tell you about some of this repigmentation that's happening with the vitiligo now. I'm trying to get that to continue to happen. Here's a spot here. That's my latest one. It's getting bigger and bigger. It's so slow, but It's happening. All of my knuckles had white spots on them. So stay tuned. I'll be posting my updates and telling you about how I'm improving with diabetes and vitiligo.